Hello everyone. Now we'll look into one more important type of binary tree, that is binary search tree. It is also called as binary sorted tree. Coming to the definition, suppose T is a binary tree, then T is called a binary search tree if each node of the tree has following property. The value of each node is greater than every value in the left subtree of that node and is less than or equal to every value in the right subtree of that node. So in other way you can define binary search tree like this. If you consider a node X in a binary search tree, then all the nodes in the left subtree of that node will be having value less than that node X, and all the nodes in the right subtree of that particular node X will be having value greater than or equal to node X. Coming to the examples of BST, in the first figure you can observe root node is with information 5. The left subtree node values are 3, 2 and 4. These values are smaller than the root node, and right subtree nodes are 7 and 8, which are greater than the node 5. And if you go to the next level, 3 is the root node for the left subtree, where 2 is smaller than 3 and 4 is greater than 3. If you go to the right subtree with node 7, the left subtree is null here, but right subtree value is greater than 7. That means at any level you check, it should satisfy the BST property. Coming to the second figure, root node is 2 and all the right subtree nodes are greater than 2, right? And coming to the next level, 3, all the nodes to the right of 3 are greater than 3. And if you consider node 7, left subtree nodes are 4 and 5, whose values are smaller than 7, and right subtree node it is 8. The value is greater than 7. That means any node in a BST you take, left subtree node values must be smaller than that parent node, and right subtree node values must be greater than or equal to that parent node. Then we say that it is a BST, binary search tree. Now examine whether the given tree is a BST or not. We'll first start with the root node with information 925. All the left subtree nodes, they are smaller than the root node. It is true at level 0, right? It is satisfying the BST property at level 0. 202, 911, 240, 912, 245, 363. All these values are smaller than 925. So it is true at level 0. Coming to the next node, 202, it is not having left subtree, but it is having right subtree. So if the node is appearing as the right subtree node, then the values must be greater than or equal to 202. Is it true? For the second node, we'll check out 911, 240, 912, 245, 363. Yes, all these node values are greater than 202. That means it is satisfying the BST property at level 1 also. Coming to level 2, 911 is the root node, and you can observe the left subtree node values must be smaller than 911. 240 is smaller than 911, it is fine, but 912, it should appear as the right subtree node for 911, but here in this case it is appearing as left subtree node. So at this level it is not satisfying the BST property. That's why this diagram, it is not a binary search tree. Now coming to the binary tree representation, there are two ways in which you can represent the binary tree. One is array representation, other one is linked list representation. That is static and dynamic representation of a binary tree. Coming to the array representation, so the array index, it ranges from 0 to 2 to the power of d plus 1 minus 1. If height of the binary tree is say d, then the array index, it ranges from 0 to 2 to the power of d plus 1 minus 1. In this example, depth is 3. So 0 to 2 to the power of that is 3 plus 1 minus 1 means 0 to 15 is the array index. You can see in this diagram. And first node is the root node. It is filled at position 0. And if you know the parent position, you can find the position of the child nodes. Left child, the position is 2p plus 1, and right child is to be placed at position 2p plus 2. If you consider as an example, root node is positioned at 0 in the array, and where to place node B, which is the left child of node A, it is 2p plus 1. 2 into 0 plus 1, what you will get is 1. So B is placed at position 1. And right child C, where to place the right child, it is 2p plus 2. Parent position is 0. 2 into 0 plus 2 means at position 2 C is placed. So, and once you know the parent, that is for node D and E, B is the parent. Where B is placed, it is at position 1. So where to place D, it is 2p plus 1. So 2 into 1 plus 1, it is 3, where D is placed, and at position 4 E is placed, and so on. So if you know the parent position, you can place the children accordingly based on the position of the parent. Coming to linked list representation, you know that in binary tree, each node should maintain two addresses. One is address of left subtree and other one is address of right subtree. So which data structure or which type of linked list is appropriate for implementing binary tree? It is doubly linked list. So this is what the structure definition to represent a node in a binary tree. Type def struct node int data, and struct node star r child, struct node star l child, and the identifier given is node. So the two self-referential structures we have taken, 2 pointers for representing a node in a binary tree. And this is the linked list representation given with a binary tree. This is how we can write the linked list representation. A is the root node, and the left child, this field contains the left subtree address, and right child field contains the right subtree address. Similarly for node B, left child is node D, that address is stored in L child field, and it is not having right child, that's why it is null. And coming to node C, it is having both left and right subtree. L child contains the left subtree address and R child contains the right subtree address. Similarly for node E, there is no left child, so it is null, and right child is G. So R child field of node E contains, that is the address of G. And leaf nodes, you can observe leaf nodes will not be having any left or right subtree, that's why you will see null field in both L child and R child pointer fields. Coming to another type of binary tree, that is threaded binary tree. See, you can observe in the binary tree linked list representation, most of the fields, whether it may be L child field or R child field, it will be null. So instead of making null these left or right child fields, we can fill these pointer fields with some valid address. It may be successor node address or predecessor node address. That we are going to call it as threads. So special pointers called threads we are going to store in those fields L child and R child. So such a tree we are going to call it as threaded binary trees. See, just to distinguish between the actual link and the threads, so we are using some dotted lines to differentiate between the actual link and the, that is, threads. So this is how we can classify threaded binary tree. In-threaded binary tree, pre-threaded binary tree, and post-threaded binary tree. In turn, each of these types can be classified into left in-threaded binary tree, right in-threaded. Similarly, pre-threaded can be classified into left pre-threaded and right pre-threaded, and post-threaded can be classified into left post-threaded and right post-threaded. Coming to the in-threaded binary tree, so given with the linked list representation of the binary tree and the in-order traversal, you can easily construct an in-threaded binary tree. So you know that threaded binary tree means we are replacing L child and R child fields with successor, there is a predecessor and successor node addresses. So since we are discussing in-threaded binary tree, any of the left child fields which are null, if they are replaced with the in-order predecessor node address, and right child fields which are null are replaced with in-order successor node address, then this becomes an in-threaded binary tree. So what is the in-order traversal for this example binary tree given? It is DBA EGCF, and you can observe node D, the right child field is null. So we can replace the right child field of node D with in-order successor address. Which is the successor for node D? See the in-order traversal for node D, the successor is B. So here we can just show the thread from node D to B. Right child field contains the in-order successor address. Similarly, for node B, we can store the in-order successor address in the right child field. Since for node B, A is the in-order successor, thus the thread is shown here. Similarly, for node E, L child field is null. We can replace L child field of node E with in-order predecessor. For node E, A is the in-order predecessor. So just show the thread here. For node G, both left and right child fields are null. We can replace left child field of node G with in-order predecessor, that is E, and right child field can be replaced with the address of in-order successor, that is node C. So like this, all the fields, null fields, left and right child fields, they are replaced with in-order predecessor and in-order successor. If it is containing actual link, we are not altering it. Only if the left child or right child field is null, then we will replace it with in-order predecessor or in-order successor. So this becomes in-threaded binary tree. Coming to the types of in-threaded, right in-threaded and left in-threaded. Right in-threaded means we are replacing only the right child fields. Right links, if they are null, we are replacing it with in-order successor. Then it becomes right in-threaded. If we are replacing the left child fields which are null, then it becomes with in-order predecessor, then it becomes left in-threaded binary tree. So in this example, you can see the in-order traversal, and only the right child fields which are null are replaced with threads which are in-order successors. For node D, which is the successor, node B. And for node B, A is the successor, and for node G, C is the successor. Only the right child fields which are null are replaced with in-order successor. Then such a threaded binary tree, we are calling it as right in-threaded binary tree. Similarly, we can define left in-threaded binary tree. If left link of a node is null and if it is replaced with the address of in-order predecessor, then the tree is said to be left in-threaded binary tree. In this example, you can see for node E, the predecessor is node A. So we are replacing L child field of node E with the address of node A, which is the in-order predecessor. And for node G, E is the in-order predecessor, and for node F, C is the in-order predecessor. So that's why we are replacing the null field of each of these nodes with their predecessor node address. Similarly, you can define the pre-threaded binary tree and the two types of it, that is right pre-threaded and left pre-threaded. Pre-threaded binary tree means the left child fields which are null are replaced with pre-order predecessor, and right child fields which are null are replaced with pre-order successor. Then we say that it is a pre-threaded binary tree. Right pre-threaded binary tree means only the right child fields which are null are replaced with pre-order successor, and left pre-threaded binary tree means only the left child fields which are null are replaced with pre-order predecessor. So given with the binary tree, do the pre-order traversal and just find out the pre-order successors for the right child fields which are null. Say for example, for node D, the pre-order successor is node C. You can see in the pre-order traversal. So that's why we have shown the thread here. In dotted line, we have shown the thread. Solid line we have used for showing the actual link, and dotted line is used for showing the thread. Similarly, for node B, the successor is node D. So right child field of node B holds the address of the successor, pre-order successor, which is node D. Similarly, for node G, pre-order successor is F. So right child field which was null is now replaced with the pre-order successor, that is node F. Similarly, you can define left pre-threaded. If left link of a node is null and if it is replaced by the address of pre-order predecessor, then the tree is said to be left pre-threaded. We can see here the left links which are null are replaced with pre-order predecessor node address. For node D, predecessor is B. So L child field which was null is now replaced with address of node B, and for node G, E is the pre-order predecessor, so that address is stored here in the L child field, and for node F, G is the pre-order predecessor, so that's why in the L child field of node F, address of node G is stored. Similarly, you can define right post-threaded and left post-threaded. Post-threaded binary tree means the left child fields which are null are replaced with post order predecessor node address, and right child fields which are null are replaced with post order successor node address. If we are replacing only the right child fields which are null with post order successor, then it is right post threaded, and if you are replacing only the left child fields which are null with post order predecessor node address, then it is left post threaded binary tree. So you can see in this example, first do the post order traversal so that you can find the successor node address. For node D, successor is B, that's why right child field which was null is replaced with address of node B. Similarly, for node B, the right child field is null, replaced with the successor, that is G. And for node G, E is the post order successor, so right child field which was null is replaced with the address of node E. And for node F, the successor is C, so right child field which was null is replaced with post order successor address, that is node C. Left post threaded binary tree means left link which is null is replaced with the address of post order predecessor. You can observe in this example, for node G, B is the post order predecessor, so left child which was null is replaced with the address of node B, and for node F, E is the post order predecessor, that's why the left child field is replaced with the address, that is node E. And similarly for node E, G is the post order predecessor, so left child field which was null is replaced with the post order predecessor, that is node G. Coming to the next type of binary tree, that is expression tree. Remember, in an expression tree, the leaf nodes will be always operand and non-leaf node will be always operator. So how to construct the expression tree we'll see in the later slides. Before that, what you need to remember is, whenever an expression tree is given and if you do the in-order traversal of an expression tree, you are going to get an infix expression, and if pre-order traversal is done, then we are going to get the prefix expression, and if you do the post-order traversal of the expression tree, you are going to get the postfix expression. You can observe here, leaf nodes are A, B and C, which are the operands. Non-leaf nodes are plus and star, which are operators. So in general, you remember, in an expression tree, always leaf nodes will be operands and non-leaf nodes will be operators. And just do the in order traversal for this tree. In order means left, root and right. So go to the left subtree, visit A, then root is plus, A plus, and come to the right subtree, try to traverse in order, it is B star C. So A plus B star C is the in order traversal. So you can observe it is an infix expression. Do the pre-order traversal for the same tree. First we need to visit the root, then traverse the left subtree in pre-order and right subtree in pre-order. So root is plus, go to the left subtree, visit the node, it is A, come to the right subtree, and here first visit the root star, then BC. So plus A star BC is the pre-order traversal what you got, and it is a prefix expression. Similarly, if you do the post-order traversal, you are going to get the postfix expression. Coming to the next example. So this is again an expression tree. You can observe leaf nodes are operands and non-leaf nodes are operators. And if you do the in-order traversal, this is what the infix expression you are getting. A plus B minus C star D cap E plus F. So first go to the left subtree, visit the node A, then after traversing left subtree in order, we have visited the root of the tree, it is plus. Go to the right subtree, the root is star, don't visit it, go to its left subtree, traverse the left subtree in order, it is B minus C. After traversing the left subtree, go to the root, it is star visited, then go to its right subtree. So the right subtree, the root node is cap, where first go to the left subtree D, then after visiting D go to the root node, it is cap, then go to the right subtree and again traverse this right subtree in order, you will get E plus F. This is the in order traversal you will get. Similarly, you can traverse this in pre-order and post-order and you will get the expressions whatever given on this slide. Coming to the operations on binary search tree. So these are the operations you can perform. It is traversal operations, search operation, insertion operations which are there in your syllabus. And what you have to remember here is, so if we are doing an in order traversal of a BST, what type of list you are going to get is a sorted list. You can observe here, this is a binary search tree. At all the levels it is satisfying the BST property. And what is the in order traversal for it? 1, 4, 5, 10, 16, 17, 21. So this is a sorted list you are getting. So if you want this ascending ordered list, then go for traversing the BST in order. Okay. And what is the pre-order traversal? 10, 4, 1, 5, 17, 16, 21. Post-order traversal is that is left, right and root. 1, 5, 4, 16, 21, 17 and 10. This is the post-order traversal. Coming to the searching. So here in this slide you are seeing both non-recursive and recursive function to perform a search operation. And what you have to remember is, any operation you perform on the binary tree will start with the root node. So the arguments received, first coming to the non-recursive function. So the return type of the function is int, name of the function is search, and it receives two arguments, that is node star root and int key, the address of root node and the key element to be searched for. And within this function we have written a while loop with the terminating condition root not equal to null. Until the root becomes null, we are performing this operation. So this is one advantage of BST, since it is having the property that the nodes to the left, in the left subtree, all the node values will be smaller than the parent node and right subtree node values may be greater than or equal to. Such operation will be easy here. So now we are performing the comparison operation. If key is equal to root of info, if we have found the key element, then we are going to return 1 to the calling function. Otherwise, if key element is less than root of information, then what you can infer is key lies in left subtree. So if key is greater than root of info, we can say that key lies in right subtree. So that's why if key is less than root of info, we are updating the root pointer to the left subtree address. So root is equal to root of left child. Otherwise, we will update root to root is equal to root of right child. So this process keeps on continuing until the test condition fails. So once the test condition fails means we have traversed the list, that is the tree, and we have not found the key element. So once loop terminates, we are returning 0 to the calling function. So coming to the recursive function, return type is node star search. This is the name of the function and it receives two arguments, the address of root node and the key element to be searched for. And two base cases we have written, if root is null or if root of info is equal to key. That is both for success and failure. What we are returning is the root node address. Otherwise, if it is none of these two base cases, then we'll check whether key is less than root of info. If it is so, we'll make a recursive call to the search function while updating the pointer root to root of left child. And if it were to be greater than, then we're again making a recursive call to the search function with the pointer updated as root of right child. So this recursive function works for performing the search operation on BST. Coming to the insertion operation. So this is another common question you can expect. They may give you some sequence of elements and they may ask you to construct a BST. The procedure is simple and this is most important question you can expect. So following is the sequence given: 70, 35, 65, 50, 75, 90 and 20. So in the same order we have to perform the insertion operation. So first node is 70. So take the first value as the root node. This is what done. So first value is taken as the root node 70, and now the next element is 35. Where to attach 35? So start comparing it with the root node. Since 35 is smaller than 70, we have to attach 35 as the left child for the root node. So that's what we have done. 70 is the root node, 35. The next information is attached as left child. So coming to the next value 65. Start with root node. Compare 65 with 70. Since 65 is smaller than 70, go to the left subtree. Again compare 65 with 35. 65 is greater than 35. So how to attach this 65? We are attaching 65 as right child of 35. That's what we have done here. 65 is attached as right child of 35. Next information is 50. Start comparing 50 with the root node. 50 is smaller than 70, go to the left subtree. 50 is greater than 35, go to the right subtree. 50 is less than 65, so attach 50 as left child of node 65. That's what we have done in this diagram. 50 is attached as left child of node 65. Next information is 75. So 75, compare it with 70. Since 75 is greater than 70, we have to attach 75 as right child of the root node. That's what we have done. And next information is 90. Compare 90 with 70. 90 is greater than 70. Go to the right subtree. 90 is greater than 75. So attach 90 as right child of node 75. That's what we have done. And the last information given is 20. Compare 20 with 70, the root node. Since 20 is less than 70, go to the left subtree. So compare 20 with 35. Since 20 is less than 35, attach it as left child of 35. So the final binary search tree you are getting is 20. You can observe. So what is the final binary search tree you are getting? This is what? 70 is the root node, 35 the left subtree, and 75 the right subtree, and this is how the other nodes are attached. Coming to the next concept, that is creation of binary tree for a postfix expression. You know what an expression tree is? Leaf nodes are operands, non-leaf nodes are operators, and how actually you can go for constructing an expression tree if a prefix or postfix expression is given. First we'll look into the postfix expression, and this is what the procedure or the algorithm you have to follow for constructing the binary tree or the expression tree. First step, you need to scan each symbol from left to right and perform these operations. Create a node for the scanned symbol, and if the scanned symbol is an operand, then push the corresponding node onto the stack. If it is an operator, then pop top two nodes from the stack. First popped is attached to the right of the node and second popped is attached to the left of the node. And we need to push that node with that corresponding operator onto the stack, and we have to repeat this process until all the symbols in the postfix expressions are scanned. It is same as evaluation of postfix expression, same algorithm. We are scanning each symbol in the postfix expression from left to right. If the scanned symbol is an operand, push it onto the stack. If it is an operator, pop top two elements. First popped is attached as right child and second popped is attached as left child, and push the node with that operator onto the stack and repeat this process. This is the simple procedure for constructing an expression tree. We can see the example here. The postfix expression given is AB plus CDE plus star star. We are scanning each symbol from left to right. A is an operand, push it onto the stack. B is an operand, push it onto the stack. Plus is an operator, so pop top two elements. First popped is node B, attach it as right child. Second popped is node A, attach it as left child. Push this node with operator onto the stack. Next symbol scanned is C, push it onto the stack, it is an operand. Next symbol is D, push it onto the stack. Next symbol is E, push it onto the stack. And next symbol is plus, it is an operator. So once operator is encountered, pop top two elements. First popped is node E, just attach that node E as right child to plus, and node D is next pop which is attached as left child for plus. And now push this node with information plus onto the stack. So next symbol scanned is star. So we need to pop top two elements. First popped is node with information plus, attach it as right child, and next popped is C, attach it as left child. And next symbol scanned is star. The last symbol scanned is star. So we need to pop top two elements. First popped is node with information star, attach it as right child, and next popped is node with information plus, so attach it as left child. And the final expression tree are going to get us star as the root node, plus as the root node for the left subtree, star as the root node for the right subtree, and left and right child for plus in the left subtree is A and B, and for star in the right subtree C is the left child, and for right subtree plus is the root node and D and E are the left and right child. If you traverse this expression tree constructed in post order, you should get this expression whatever given in the question. So what is the post order traversal for this expression tree? AB plus, that is left, right and root, go to the right subtree, then it is C, D, E plus star star. Yes, the expression is correct. Similarly, the procedure for constructing an expression tree given with a prefix expression is like this. We need to scan each symbol in the prefix expression from right to left, and if the scanned symbol is an operand, we have to push it onto the stack. If it were to be operator, then pop top two elements. First popped is attached as left child here, and second popped is attached as right child. And we need to push the node with that operator onto the stack and repeat this process until all the symbols in the prefix expressions are scanned. So what is the difference in these two procedures? In postfix expression, we are scanning from left to right. In prefix expression, we are scanning from right to left. And in once an operator is encountered in a postfix expression, we are just popping top two elements, and first popped is attached as right child, second popped is attached as left child. Whereas in this procedure, that is given with prefix expression, if an operator is encountered, the first pop we are attaching it as left child, and second pop we are attaching it as right child. Hope all these concepts are clear with respect to trees.